Hello, everyone. Welcome on. Hi, June.
Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
I'm so good. What a great night it's going to be. How's everybody tonight? All right. Well, as everybody is jumping on, I know it takes a second. And stylists, if you're hitting the share button into your group, go ahead and do that so we can find everybody. But as you're jumping on, comment live if you're watching live, comment replay if you are watching the replay a little bit later. And let us know where you're watching from. We always love to see on these lives how many places we reach. Because here tonight, I'm in New York. June is in Arizona. So, June, what is the scoop? So, usually we're 3 hours apart, but not now because
you change your clock, but I don't.
Okay, so
we don't change our clocks in Arizona, so we just go with keeping up with the rest of you. So in the winter time, you're 2 hours. In the summertime, you're 3.
So then, technically, you're Mountain Time now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay,
and I'll be Pacific in the summer.
Right, and the rest of the year it's 3 hours. Okay, all right, I got it. So, anybody else hanging in on Mountain Time? I feel like that's the forgotten time zone. Anybody in Mountain Time always goes, how come we never get what time it's at?
It's true.
All right, everybody. Well, we are so glad that you're here. For those that I've never met before, my name is Michele Zito. I am a company VP with Park Lane Jewelry and the super proud leader of Team Shine On. And I am here with division leader June Peach. And we are here tonight to just share a little bit with you about what we love so much about this industry, about this business, about this team, and about Park Lane. And if you're here to check that out, we hope that you find this helpful. And you may just win a piece of jewelry tonight because we do have a piece of jewelry that we are raffling off as well. So stay with us because that takes place a little bit later. So, all right. So as we are kind of getting started here, I know that direct sales is a really fantastic way to either supplement your income, to replace an income that perhaps you've lost, to have an income without having another boss. And for some of you, you are looking to do this alongside a full-time job. Some of you are, again, looking to replace, and maybe you are out of work and you want to try something new. Lots of different situations out there. I started in this industry 25 years ago when I was on maternity leave from my teaching job. And in order to stay on maternity leave, I needed to pay the COBRA of $600 a month. So in order to do that, I had hosted a party about a year and a half before. And the girl who did my party, it wasn't Park Lane, unfortunately, but at that time, the girl who did my party told me she made $200. So I said, okay, well, I guess if I did 3 parties a month, I could earn the $600 a month so I can stay on maternity leave. And that's exactly what I did. I did 3 parties in June of 2000, made $600, and then decided if I did a few more parties, I could earn $1,000. The next month, somebody wanted to join with me. That gave me a raise, which... thank goodness this happened because I was already pregnant again and wouldn't have even been able to go back for a whole additional school year because I would have gone out on maternity leave the very next year. Well, I continued on that path for that year, the year after, had another baby, and then stayed on that path, gave up my teaching job. 14 years later, got a call from Park Lane where they offered for me to come on an interview to hear about the programs here in case they might be better than where I was. And I wasn't necessarily looking for a change, but at the same time, it did seem silly to not hear what was out there. So I went on the interview, realized that the programs here were way superior to where I was, and made the change. And because I had been an executive at my other company, Park Lane offered me sales vice president. So I got all of those perks. Since then, have developed such an amazing team, including all the people that invited you guys to watch tonight, that I'm now a company vice president and have been for several years. Now, June also did come to us via the Direct Appoint program because she too was an upper level leader at her previous company However, she came to us in a more shocking, I guess, way, because I left a company that still exists today, whereas June had the rug pulled out from under her. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that, June?
Sure. So really, truly, two companies that were pulled out. One 3 years ago, who transitioned us, helped us transition to the second company, which then we kind of knew in April it was happening, but the final happened in May. We kind of suspected, those of us that were in leadership suspected something. And in May, they just literally closed. So, the hardest part, I think, was having a big team and trying to explain to them what was going on when I didn't know.
Right.
And so it happened. And I honestly, seriously thought, well, maybe it's an omen. Maybe it's time to say, okay, I'm done with direct sales. Maybe. And Park Lane reached out to me. So I don't know that I was technically looking to really start over in the middle of that chaos. And I had this huge team that I'm like feeling for. Like none of us got paid for 6 weeks. So, it was very traumatic on many of my team who that was their whole. I have a full-time outside job. I'm an RN, so I work full-time. Many of them didn't. That was their supplemental, extra money for kids, gym lessons, whatever. Right. So
Right.
I felt really, really bad. And my upline, Larry, is a really personal good friend and has been for years. And so, I reached out to him and told him about Park Lane reaching out to me. And he said, really? And I said, well, tell me a little bit about the company and everything. Cause I've been in direct sales for 12 years. I'm pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And truly he gave me a really quick, but good breakdown of Park Lane. And the last thing he said to me was, they make you an offer, take it. And I'm like, well, I'll see what, So then Michelle reached out and we met and we talked, and it was a great conversation. And part of my brain of just what I went through was like, this is just too good to be true. There's no way. I've been in direct sales a long time. There's no way you come in at this kind of commission. The hardest part, getting your rank back every month, that was just terrible. Like, I don't know, only one time ever was I demoted, but being demoted is the hardest thing you can go through after working so hard for that rank. So of course my mind was like, oh no way. This is too good to be
right.
But now it's 7 months later, it isn't too good to be true. I'm slowly bringing over some of my team that has watched me. They're watching me still. I have, pretty much every month or so, I have 2 or 3 of my last team reach out and say, let's talk. So I do think that it took me time to build that trust, but the trust is there now. We have an amazing team. I don't think I've ever had this kind of support where everything is there for you if you want to use it, if you want to put some work into it. You can't it's not just going to appear on your plate. You have to do some of the work, but it's all there for you to present it. So
I love that so much, and it's really, unfortunately, common in these last couple of years since COVID for companies to just abruptly close. And one of the things that broke my heart the first time that you and I spoke was that you had earned a trip
to Cancun
that didn't occur. And then fast forward, I said, well, we're going to fix that. You're going to earn a Park Lane trip and we're going to get you back. And then look what's happened. You've got 2 trips coming up now. And just absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of you.
That's very, it's so exciting because there were several of us, including someone on my team that won it. And that was their first ever trip. And, so it's like, just broke my heart. Like, oh, cause that wasn't my first trip ever. I've had a few that I've earned, and, to have them lose their first ever was kind of sad for me. And I don't know that person will ever get back into direct sales. That's the sad part, is you lose some really good representatives that get a bad taste in their mouth, for that kind of thing. So hopefully we can share what an amazing opportunity they have here, because it really is. I mean, it took a little bit of convincing, I'm not going to lie, but it really truly is. And a couple of my girls that came over from my last team have really decided this is for them. I mean, at first they came over kind of skeptical too. We all went through trauma, and I have 2 gone to area now, and they're just loving every bit of it. And they reach out to me all the time that this was too good to be true. How did we miss this? Because all of us had some Park Lane friends.
Yeah.
How did we not? Honestly, I hadn't been to an opportunity meeting until April.
Wow.
That was my first one ever. So I don't know how that happened, as long as I've known a few of them, but maybe I just didn't go. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When you're working somewhere, you kind of have blinders on, I think, and you're just kind of working your company and working where you work. But then when these companies that were not on a strong of a foundation as Park Lane is, that's when these unfortunate closures and taking things away and everything happens. So that's something that's really important to know. So why can it be like this here? Well, Park Lane's been around since 1955. And that says something. When we talk about our jewelry is guaranteed, it's from a company that's been around since 1955. When we say that we are cash rich and debt free, it's been that way since 1955. We are on the 3rd generation of Levine family running this company. And what I've seen in my 12 years here is other companies, jewelry and otherwise, close because it was a family company, but the next generation didn't want the company. Or foundationally, there was always, creditors to pay or investors to satisfy. And when that's the case, there's just not enough money to go around. And here at Park Lane, knowing that they've only ever kept 2% of the profits and reinvested the other 98%, that's why we have the buying power that we have, which makes our prices outstanding, and why we don't run into things like tons of back orders or rising prices and things like that. It's why we have things like a Mercedes car program that every leader can earn, not just upper level executive leaders. It's why we have 2 trips a year, not just one, that everybody can earn, all levels. It's why we can earn free jewelry every single month. I know a huge concern people have is, oh my gosh, if I join, I'm going to have to spend all money. I'm going to have to spend so much money on jewelry so that I have it to sell. And that is simply not the case, because what we are showing is samples. We show samples of jewelry. So when I show the Willow bracelet set, I'm showing my sample of the Willow bracelet set. And then after I'm done showing it and how beautiful it is, I put it back on this bracelet pillow and put it in my little bracelet holder thing. And when someone wants to order it, Park Lane sends that, because the customer orders it on the party link or on the website link. They package it up, they send it to the customer, and the very next party I do, I take it back out and show this one. How many of you have ever involved yourself in a company that you had to keep inventory? That really cuts into your profits, everybody, because if I had to sell this bracelet set, and as it turns out, no one wanted it, well, what I paid for this is now profit that no longer exists, because it's living here in my house along with the 20 others I bought in the hopes that someone wanted it. So if you've ever had that problem where your business took over your house because you had so much stuff in it, and took over your finances because all of your money was invested in this inventory, you are in for a whole different world here, because what we are showing is samples. Do you find, June, that the Rich Rewards program really allows you to be profitable here?
Yes, between that and the party plan, because every month I have a mystery party, and depending on, the activity in my VIP, sometimes it's me that's the mystery hostess that gets the prizes. And sometimes it's just stuff I'm going to use for rewards, which is great. Between the party plan and the RRC rewards, I literally have all the prizes I need to give out for whatever I'm doing. I mean, every month there's several prizes I send out, or, sometimes certain customers that are just really good customers, I'll send them an extra piece. I'll see something they ordered and send them something matching to go with it as a thank you for being such an amazing customer. And I do that off my Rich Rewards. When I know our team has an event, I go to Rich Rewards and get what I need for the team event, so
right.
They're a blessing. They're a blessing.
It's so true. And the fact that you're not always having to invest, like this necklace that I have on only just came out last week, because what's today's Monday. It came out last week. And I didn't have to purchase this sample because we earned it in our December Rich Rewards, so that it came to us in early January and then they released it. I don't know. I might be messing up those months, but whatever. We earned this in advance and I didn't have to buy it when it came out. And now everyone can shop for it and customers actually get to see it. And this goes on all the time where we're earning the piece of the month plus the incremental packages that you get to pick what you want. And again, like June said, you just use it for those fun extras or to build up your kit. At one time I only had one Atlantic bracelet. But now that I have 2 Atlantic bracelets, now I can show an arm party like this. Before that, I could only show an arm party like that. This is what makes it so much fun to just constantly be picking out jewelry that we earned. And it's not cutting into your profit. I'm glad you mentioned Party Plan there, June, because Party Plan is so smart because it allows someone who loves the jewelry and loves the sale, right? And lots of you love our sale. And that's what keeps so many of you coming back time and time again, right? Because your 2 lowest price pieces are your only pieces that are regular price. So if you're getting a pair of embraceable earrings and you're getting an impression necklace, there's your 2 low price pieces. Now your journey rings can be half price and your, Destiny or something like that can be half price, so that now that new soiree necklace, instead of being $156, suddenly just became $35. So with everyone loving a sale like that, women are so nice. Women love to tell their friends when they got a good deal on something. Haven't you all done that? You've all told someone you love about a great deal that you got on something that you think they want the good deal on as well. And with that, that's what having a party is. And many of you watching have had a party with us as well, where you had a few friends get together, whether it was at your house, at a bar or a restaurant, whether it was on a Facebook Live just like this, whether it was on a Zoom, whether it was in a Facebook group, a messenger party. There are so many ways. Now, when your friends shop the party, Park Lane rewards you with hundreds of dollars worth of free and discounted shopping that Park Lane pays for. That's what Party Plan is. So when people talk about what's Party Plan, that's a huge difference between Party Plan and MLM, right? Because Park Lane is providing party benefits. And then that party is what allows us as stylists to meet wonderful jewelry loving women. And in doing so, they get rewarded with the free and discounted jewelry. We get to meet all of these nice new people. Some of them want to have a party, and then that's the next party that we're doing, and the party after that, and the party after that. Because, June, what's your total time in direct sales?
Years?
Yeah.
12 straight this time, but back in the mid 80s, I did some direct sales in the Chicago region. I never heard of Park Lane back then, but I'm sure it was there. But that was before the internet and when it was all home, and I had 2 small children, and I was trying to be a, stay-at-home mom. And I ended up getting my nursing degree and throwing all that away for a while. Came back into it about 12 years ago because I was bored. Literally, that's why. I needed something to just do. And I also thought about the plan B, the retirement plan B.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to retire? And, now I'm just a couple years away, but then I was like 10 years away. What's my plan B? And I thought maybe I could find the right little extra income to supplement my retirement when that time comes.
So. I love that. And that is a common one on our team as well. We have lots of women that are either have achieved an early retirement from their job or that are preparing for it. Sylvia actually messaged me this weekend about how she's now in striking distance within a year of retiring, and it is a little earlier than she originally thought she would because of her Park Lane income. And she's one of several. So love that. And then there's so many more on the front end of things, right? Where they had a job, now they're in their small children phase. And it's not easy to have one income. I might argue it's impossible to be on one income, or at least to maintain the lifestyle you were accustomed to on two incomes, that now you have the flexibility of being home with the small ones, and your children and everyone, and then still have that income so that you can still go to the water park and still go to a birthday party over the weekend and bring the gift for the little kid who's partying. All of those things that cut into a family budget. And we have all of that happening on our team, in addition to those that are paying down and paying off credit card debt, using it for a car payment, student loans, being able to take a vacation with the family, new furniture, all the things that when you are doing your regular budget of rent or mortgage, grocery bills, electric, phone, Netflix, cable, blah, 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 where do all those extras come from? And for a lot of our team, this is where. Yep. This is where those extras come from. And for some, it's where some of those other things come from. It's where those necessities come from. And having these amazing systems, the sale that people like to shop, the party plan that women like to have the parties, is what allows Park Lane to give us the outstanding compensation plan. That when I went on that interview back in January of 2014. So it was exactly this time of year in 2014 that I went on that interview. I couldn't believe that right away, the starting commission was 5% higher than what I was earning, having promoted several times. It was 10% higher than what I had started at. So a starting stylist would already be 10% higher. But actually, because I was going to then, so I was, I didn't know at the start of the interview I was coming in as a leader. So right away, I was like, 30%, that's more than I make now. But then when they went on to say, but because you would come to us as a sales vice president, you'll be starting at 45%. Now I felt like the person in the car dealership that needed to control my face, because in my inside, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's 20% more than I started at. And this is insane. And then to find out the high percentages paid on your team. I know, June, for you as well, that you were going to earn 15% on your personal recruits, infinitely deep. Mm-hmm. That was 5 times what my previous company was paying me on a personal recruit. 5 times. So one recruit.
Yeah, easily that. Mm-hmm.
5 recruits here. So, and the fact that you get paid infinitely deep all the time and can never lose that. You're never paid at a different level. You're never taken away. You're never demoted. All of those things that June talked about in the beginning. I said, I would easily double my income if I came here. And actually, I was wrong. It was triple and more as time has come. So if you are brand new to direct sales, then congratulations. You will work in the right best compensation plan from minute one. Anytime I do this chat, because we do this every Monday night, if you've never been with us before. But if you've ever been to one with Beth Faust or Jennifer Ewert, they're like, this Carrie Hendy, everyone's like, this is the only place I've ever worked. And anytime you girls talk about those other compensation plans, I'm like, geez, I'm glad I never had to go through that. And yes, you're right. So if you're new and you'd be joining us as a stylist, then yes, this is going to be amazing for you. If you have been through all those other things June and I spoke about, you're going to find this to be a refreshing change. And do you know how easy it is to get started, everyone? We do a show for you. We do a show. We can call it a decider party. We can call it a launch party, but we do the party. And at this party, we work for you, right? We are going to show the jewelry. We're going to set you up the messenger chat, and the Facebook group is ready, and do the posts and show the jewelry and do the live and help everyone shop the sale. Because at the end of that party, it all becomes yours if you're joining. So not only do you get the shopping spree that Park Lane is providing as to the hostesses, but you're also keeping the paycheck on that party, which then is going to be what is really paying you back for the kit. $129. And for that, you receive $500 worth of jewelry that you get to pick out. So now you have your hostess jewelry, you have your kit jewelry, your website's up and running, and you're ready to go. Now, some of you are hearing that and like, well, wait, can I just get my kit right now? Yeah, you can. You can order your kit right now. You can have a website up and running in the next 10 minutes. Honestly, it can be that simple. And then we still will set up the launch party so that you're up and running and ready to go. But if you'd rather do the party first and do it as a decider party first, that's an option as well. So that's all the things you're going to let us know on the survey that we're just about to put into the chat. So when you fill out that survey, you're going to let us know if this sounds great, you want to order a kit right now, then that's what you want to check off. If you feel like you want the decider party first, then you can check that off. If you just want a regular party because you're like, I'm not selling jewelry, but that party sounds pretty good, I could use a shopping spree, then check that off. If you have additional questions that we didn't address while we're here, because we're live in so many places, put it on the survey and we will get them answered for you. But the survey is the key to winning the prize and getting your questions answered. And tonight's prize, I thought we would go with a nice long necklace. So tonight's chat prize is our Eternal necklace. This is a designer inspired piece. We love the decorative chain. It is fantastic for framing your shorter necklaces, your everyday necklace that you would wear up top all by itself. But this is one of our top selling designer inspired pieces. And one of you is winning it tonight as thanks for joining us. So do go ahead and complete the survey that you see here in the comments. And June, if you had any parting words of wisdom for everyone, what would it be?
You know, I think what a lot of people that are out there in the direct sale world don't have is the support, the family, the team support. And that is the one thing that I think I couldn't stress enough that's here. Like the amount of people always there to help you. So, I mean, no, they're not going to do everything for you, but they're going to support you, cheer you on. Oh my gosh, just the amount of sisterhood, brotherhood, all of us together as one big family is, and I'm not just talking Team Shine On, you know, we have other parts of our family, like Grace and Grit that have been there to support us as well with amazing, you know, shows and prizes and just fun. I think just fun. The fun that's provided in this team, I've not had in my 12 years of direct sales. So if I can give you that much that you can come find some fun, come join us and have some fun with us.
I love that. And you know, these chats are never rehearsed, and June has never done one before with me. So sometimes I'm always like, oh, I just hit them with these questions and they have to answer on the fly. So I love that was your answer, you know, because one of the things that to me as a leader is so important is to make people feel welcome onto the team, is to that people know they are supported, is to provide the training and the resources that will make people able to be successful. So I'm just so thrilled to hear that. And when someone joins the team with a wealth of knowledge and experience like you have, I always feel like that's often the true test too, because you came here with plenty to know and plenty to share, and you absolutely do every day. So when I hear like, oh, I've not had this before, or it's so great, I'm so glad I came, it makes me happy and also breathe a sigh of relief that I'm doing the job as a leader that you find helpful and that so many on the team do as well. So everyone, if this sounds good to you, go ahead and complete that survey. We would love to answer any further questions you have. We would love to get you started or book your party or whatever it is that would help you right now. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. And June, thank you so much for sharing your story tonight. I so appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody.